Hi everybody, my name is Miss Welch and I'm the media specialist here at Madison County Central School. Today we're going to read a story called A Regular Flood of Mishap by Tom Birdseye, and it's illustrated by Megan Lloyd. Have you ever had one of those days when nothing seems to go right? Well, the little girl in this story has one of those days, but at the end she's going to learn a really important lesson. It also is full of some figurative language which is fun to listen to and fun to read. Here we go. I've lived here on Mossy Creek all my life, 6 years, but now I'm leaving for good. It's true. My name is Ima Bean. You heard me right. I packed that old suitcase Aunt Etta Bean gave me last Christmas, and I'm skedaddling out of here as fast as a frog off a hot frying pan, because my family doesn't love me anymore, and I can't blame them. You see, I goofed. I didn't mean to make such a terrible mess, though. I was just trying to help. It all started when I was down by the creek and spied Grandpa Bean's fishing pole propped up on a rock. Why, I'm a Bean, I said to myself, Grandpa Bean has gone off and plumb forgotten his fishing pole. So I ran on over and picked that pole up. Wouldn't you know, Grandpa Bean had plumb forgotten his fishing line, too, and it was still dangling in the water like it had nothing else to do. Better take that line to him as well, I'm a Bean, I said to myself. I was just trying to help. A fishing pole's not much more than a long stick without it, now is it? So I commenced to reeling that line in. Wouldn't you know? Grandpa Bean had plumb forgotten he had a hook tied to the end of that line, and it sure seemed snagged. So I took a good hold of Grandpa Bean's pole, and I cranked and I yanked, but that hook just refused to come loose. Would you know? Grandpa Bean had plumb forgotten about the big log on the creek bottom. I reckoned his fishing hook was stuck in that thing as sure as pigs like mud. I'm a Bean, this calls for a little more oomph, I said to myself. I was just trying to help. So I put my feet up against a big rock, and I took a big breath, and I closed my eyes real tight, and I heaved, and I hauled, and I grunted like a big old fat hog. And then I gave one big humongous pull, and directly I heard something hit the water. And I opened up my eyes and discovered it was me. Water was everywhere right about then, I noticed, coming up to way over my head. So, spitting and sputtering and grumbling and muttering, I swam to shore and climbed up on the bank, dragging Grandpa Bean's fishing line behind me. Wouldn't you know? That line wasn't stuck on a big log like I thought it was. Grandpa Bean had plumb forgotten he had some bait on that hook of his, and he'd gone and caught himself a big old catfish. Heavens to Bean, Ima, I said to myself, you better get that fish on home for fixing. I was just trying to help. Grandpa Bean will be as excited as a fly at a marmalade picnic when he sees this catfish. Yahoo-dee-hoo. But then I saw Grandpa Bean's fishing pole broke in two. Dear me, oh my, black clouds fly my troubles in the sky. I goofed. So I ran home real quick to get a piece of string to try and tie that fishing pole back together. Wouldn't you know, I plumb forgotten that my daddy, people around Mossy Creek know him as Garbanzo Bean, he'd wrap that string real tight around the barnyard gate for a reason, to keep it closed. Well, when I untied it, the gate swung open and out galloped Hester the mule like kids at Christmas. Right through the clothesline he went, dragging it and Mama Lima Bean's wash behind him. I'll get him, Daddy. Don't cry, Mama, I yelled. I was just trying to help. Whoa, Hester, whoa. But Hester didn't whoa. So I grabbed Brother Chili Bean's bicycle to help chase that mule down. And wouldn't you know, I'd plumb forgotten that the front tire of Chili's bicycle needed a new whatchamacallit, or whatchamother-call-it from when he'd run into the pig trough. I got no more than 1 foot shy of 2 feet going when that front wheel came off and took off on its own like it had a previous engagement. I was thrown face foremost into the cabbages and carrots and taters and maters that Mama had piled in the garden cart, which then began to roll. just trying to help," I yelled as that fast-moving garden cart almost ran over Daddy and sent Mama and Brother Chili Bean diving into the bushes. Me and those cabbages and carrots and taters were soon swerving down the road like a snake in a cactus patch, gaining on Hester the mule and all that laundry faster than a cow could say moo to you two. A regular flood of mishap it was. Things were beginning to look kind of wild. But wouldn't you know, things can always get wilder. I'd plumb forgotten it was market day, and just as I reached rocket ship speed and was running within a curly hair stretch of Hester the mule, around the bend came Sister Pinto Bean and Grandpa Bean in the farm truck, which was all loaded up with apples. Yep, wild indeedy, I'm a bean, I said to myself, and I knew for sure it was true. So I yelled at Grandpa Bean that he'd plumb forgotten his fishing pole, and I was just trying to help, but maybe he better get the farm truck out of the way before I explained it all. And wouldn't you know, he did just that. Dear me, on my black clouds fly my troubles in the sky. I goofed. So about then is when I decided to leave Mossy Creek for good. I bailed out of that garden cart, cabbages and carrots and taters and maters flying every which way, ran flea-hop fast back home through the woods, and packed my suitcase. Gotta find a new family, I'm a bean, I said to myself. You gone and broke Grandpa Bean's fishing pole, let out Hester the mule, tore down Mama's clothesline, and broke Brother Chili Bean's bike even worse than it was. And dump those cabbages and carrots and taters and maters, and run Sister Pinto Bean and Grandpa Bean and the family apples off the road. It's a terrible mess, a regular flood of mishap. No one will love you anymore. And I started to cry, 'cause I knew it was true. But wouldn't you know, I'd plumb forgotten. In my family, you're always family, even when you goof. The end. So just remember, sometimes your family or your teachers at school or your friends may not like the behavior you had, but they are always going to love you no matter what. Hope you had a great time listening to our story, and I look forward to reading another story to you another time. Have a great day. Bye.